a family or within some relationship.
It is true, and in our data, which goes back about 9.5 years now, about 57% of the victims knew their killer in some way.
So in that sense, an incident like the Chattanooga shooting or the Charleston shooting, to name a couple of horrific recent instances, they're not absolutely representative of what a mass killing is or what mass killings are across the country.
Well, they're certainly the ones that scare us the most because they seem so random. But you don't have to look at very many of these cases to realize that there's a randomness to all of them, even if it was a gang or a drug shooting. It's easy for us to think that, well, I don't do drugs, I don't have anything to do with a gang, most everybody in my family is relatively stable, that can't happen to me. But you look at very many of these cases and it's a neighbor who heard something and went next door. It's a good Samaritan that tried to help someone in a parking lot. The case in Modesto last weekend included a 5-year-old who was there on a play date. So there is always a randomness to these events.
Okay, so how many people are being killed in mass killing incidents across the country year by year?
Since we started counting at the beginning of 2006, there have been 284 incidents, not quite 1,400 people who have died.
Not quite 1,400 people
Right.
who have died.
Yes.
They're mostly involving firearms?
About 70% involve firearms.
What about when they don't? What weapons are being used?
It could be anything from, we have a number of cases of arson, we have blunt instruments, there's at least one case, I think, where it was a fist, strangulation, drowning, even cars.
What do you know, if anything, about the characteristics of people who commit these mass killings?
The overwhelming majority are men, about 94%. Men are a little more likely to use guns than women are, and women are more likely to use other things like strangulation or drowning or arson. They are also often focused on children, although a lot of the men are as well. And about a third of the killers don't leave the scene alive. They either commit suicide or they are shot by police.
You just